Hello, everyone. This is Michael Justin Lee, the founder and president of the Ivy Dream. Welcome to another episode of our podcast channel, Aspire, in which we interview current students and recent graduates of some of the top universities in the world. Today, we are very happy to be joined by Lesley Yupa. She's an incoming freshman at NYU. Lesley, thank you for joining us.
It's a pleasure to be here, Michael. Thank you so much.
Lesley, to start, can you tell us a little bit about where you're from and where you went to high school?
Yeah, of course. So, my name is Leslie, and I grew up in Corona, Queens, and I went to Townsend Harris High School.
So you're a native New Yorker.
Yes, born and raised. Well, I was born in Brooklyn, but I moved to Queens when I was younger.
Well, we have something in common. Lesley, uh, when you were in high school, did you know you wanted to go to NYU for college?
I would say it was definitely one of my top options, especially due to my high school involvement with them throughout the last 2 years of my high school experience.
Oh, yeah. Please tell us about that. How in high school were you already involved with NYU?
Yeah, definitely. So they have different I guess for high school student program opportunities so that they can interact within the university setting. So I was involved in the NYU STEP program, which is a science technology entry program for my last 2 years. And within that opportunity, I was able to gain some research experience and kind of get a feel of the campus community and more STEM based involved activities that they offer for undergrads. And also, I got accepted to their NYU Arise program, which is a research based opportunity where you can conduct research with graduate and professors within different fields in the sciences. And I did conduct research within the DNA nanotechnology lab during my senior year at the Adrian Siemens lab.
That is some wonderful high school education. Corona and NYU are not particularly close. How were you able to fit that into your school day?
Definitely. So the NYU STEP program was on Saturdays. And then outside of that, I would definitely say having a balanced and well thought out, I guess, schedule really helped me figure out the commute as well as having time to really focus on my research as well as do well in school was really important to me.
Oh, that's wonderful. Were those commonly known programs to the students in your high school?
I would say it really came down to my freshman year. I've always been the type of person to be really curious about what can be accessible to me, especially for a affordable cost or no cost at all. Coming from like, I wouldn't say low income, but definitely not having the finances to afford paying for thousands of dollars for some programs that can be offered within other private institutions. So it was a lot of looking online, attending different like panels or workshops within clubs that were offered within my high school, and just cold emailing to then find these opportunities. So I would say the earlier you start, the better, because then you're allowing yourself to have time to build a spreadsheet or look at programs that if you weren't able to apply your first year or due to restrictions you're not eligible for. Once you are able to be eligible for it, you can then apply either the following year.
Well, that is some tremendous initiative on the part of a high school student. So I commend you for that.
Thank you.
Was it in line with the AP courses you were taking? The research you were doing, that is.
Definitely, I would say I didn't take AP chemistry, so that foundation within the DNA, like, and the more nanotech type of realm, it was very much me relying on my freshman year chemistry knowledge. But then within the STEP program, they gave you the opportunity to take chemistry classes, or like you have a more personalized experience with your professor, so it's you're able to catch up with the course or content material and really be able to be helpful within the research that they're conducting.
How many students were part of this program?
So for the STEP program, it was around, I would say 100-ish something students, but they are coming from different ages. So the program starts from like your 8th grade up to your 12th grade. So kids are there within different years. They start at different times. So I didn't start until my sophomore year. And for the research position within the nanotech lab, there were only 5 of us. So that was a smaller group setting. And we were more mainly junior and senior students.
Hmm. Well, with 5 students, you certainly must have gotten to know that professor very well.
Yeah, definitely. It's been an amazing opportunity. And then I'm definitely looking forward to maybe taking a class with him spring semester.
Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Was any of your research ultimately published?
I would say no, due to the time frame within when I was looking to publish the research, but a lot of it's like currently still being conducted. So I'm looking forward to maybe making a publication either throughout my freshman year or later on in the academic year, especially because I think even within just the summer portion of my time at NYU so far, like your I guess interests really expand. And I feel like it's really important to keep that open mindset into exploring different opportunities within the STEM realm or other, um, I guess, paths.
Oh, yes, indeed. In fact, if you were to get it published any time in the 4 years, that would always already be a tremendous, tremendous academic achievement.
Yes, definitely.
Leslie, were you definite that you wanted to study STEM in high school?
Yes, because I would say that it really came down from my personal experiences and exposures within the healthcare realm. Because I was born in microtia, which is a congenital ear deformity. So when I was around 7 to 8, I had to get like 4 surgical procedures done for it. And throughout that time, I stayed in San Antonio, Texas, where my doctor was located, the surgeon for it. Um, and I feel like my time within Texas and like my exposure within the Ronald McDonald House Foundation, which is the place that funded my stay throughout the year that I was there, meeting different people and children with different medical conditions and experiences, and the fact that they all came from different parts of the world really did inspire me to really want to contribute and give back the same way that these physicians helped me within my medical condition and kind of bridge that gap in regards to the resources that are available for patients within the US and in other foreign countries.
That's wonderful. I've heard great things about the Ronald McDonald House, and I'm so happy that you were able to get treatment like that. Absolutely wonderful. Leslie, so you're in high school. You're obviously doing well. You're participating in some of these high end research activities. We started on talking about where you might want to go to college. What other universities particularly interested you when you were applying?
Definitely, I think for me it was a little different in the sense of location was a very huge factor given that like personal reasons as to what was going on during that time frame of my application process. But so I knew I wanted to stay local to New York City. However, I was looking into a few out of state but not that far schools. So Yale was definitely one of my top choices due to like its location is not that far from New York City and just the programs that they offered and the community that was built upon it. And also, I was looking into Columbia, which is within New York City. I would say, like, I enjoyed all these different opportunities that each school offered because I feel like it's really important to make like a pros and cons list as to like when it comes down to deciding which schools to apply to. And these had like pros that I really enjoyed about them. And definitely, I think the other school that I was looking into was outside of New York City. It was probably the University of Pennsylvania.
Wonderful, wonderful. Leslie, let's turn to the application process. You have a handful of schools that really interest you. How did you approach the essays of these applications?
Definitely. So I think especially with the fact that we had affirmative action come into play, and then we also had the testing options still available during that time, everyone's college process was a little different. But what was really I guess, emphasized to me by different people throughout my application process was really being open and portraying different aspects of yourself within the application frame. So bringing in your culture, your background within an aspect of your, let's say, personal statement, but also drawing into your I guess, skills and different aspects of you as a person that show how open minded you are, but also how you're willing and able to contribute to the university in a whole. So, also talking and drawing more into specific programs that the schools offer, so then it really shows how you've really done your research to then explain why you would want to be considered for that institution. So definitely being not sticking to like a basic, let's say, same theme for all of the schools because you want to make it personalized to every single one because all of them are very different in their own way.
Wonderful. Lesley, how did you address the issue of your intended major and what you would like to do with your education after graduation?
Definitely. I feel like that idea was more portrayed within my personal statement. Like I talked about my personal experiences, but I also tied it into future aspirations. And I think applying that future aspiration part throughout the essay really helped portray that fact that I'm committed to the field that I want to study and how, in particular, I hope to apply the skills that I've developed so far and the skills that I'll learn throughout college to pursue that goal. And if anything, I know like talked about a previous experience I've had either within a patient setting, within like within my time in the hospitals that I've been working with, and then really tying in the end part how okay, due to this, I look forward to doing that in that kind of like structured essay response.
Hmm. Okay, great. Was it difficult for you obtaining excellent letters of recommendation?
I would say I definitely got very lucky in the sense that from my sophomore year, I had the same science teacher for my research class, and she's really seen me grow as a student. Because I remember I asked her for my first letter of recommendation to just apply to one of the programs that I got later on accepted into for just high school research or program opportunities. And I feel like she's definitely seen that drive and curiosity within me throughout the last like 3 years that I was her student, and that really helped me build a strong application because she also knew a lot about my personal life and my, I guess, performance in the class environment. And then for my other teachers, same thing. I really talked about because my second letter recommendation, I'm pretty sure, was my Spanish teacher because I've had him for 3 years as well. And there was a point where I was kind of being a unofficial like teacher assistant and helping out in the Spanish classes because I like performed well in it. And again, the teacher was able to see how well I performed in class and also about my personal ambitions and goals.
Oh, I'm sure they wrote excellent recommendations for you. Lesley, you are the recipient of some really magnificent scholarships. Could you go through that and tell our audience what they're about and how the application process went?
Definitely. So I'm a 2024 Coca-Cola Scholar recipient, and that was given through the Coca-Cola Scholar Foundation. The application process is currently open, I'm pretty sure, for phase 1, where this application part is more of the students writing out all of the different activities and they've done throughout their 4 years, as well as their grades and their community service hours. And for the activity sections, they're kind of sectioned around different themes or different, I would say, categories. So there are some that are more leadership based. So like you write which activities you have a leadership position in, and then other ones you talk about like sports, and so it kind of gives you that flexibility to really write. I would say I definitely emphasize writing every activity you've done throughout your 4 years, but definitely do keep into account that for phase 2 of the application, you're gonna be writing, I forgot how many words exactly, but it was like almost around a paragraph of a description for each of the activities you originally listed in your phase one application. So definitely don't, like, when I say write all the activities you've done, do keep into account how the quality of them and if you're going to be able to really elaborate on each of them for the second part of the application process if you become a semifinalist. And at the same time, I do really think community service is a huge aspect of the scholars mission and I guess, their goals into what they want to see in a future scholar. So I do think it's a really important part and grades, etc. Obviously, you want to be like within the top part of your class and if not, like again, it can be a very holistic overview as well. So it comes down to like the quality of your activities, the quality of your community service hours, and your grades as well. But I do think everyone should apply to it.
Oh, absolutely, they should. So that was the Coca-Cola Scholarship, and you have other impressive ones as well. Could you tell us about those?
Yes, definitely. And I guess to further continue elaborating on the Coca-Cola Scholarship for phase two, you have your short responses and your essay responses as well outside of just the activity descriptions that you have to provide. So it's a very long and lengthy process, but I do think it's worth it. And it's going to be a little hard, especially because I know that part of the application cycle is around the time that you're finishing up your college essays and college applications. So I do think making sure that you're keeping on top of your deadlines is really, really important and have them edited and read and proofread as many times as you want or think it's needed. And then once you get selected as a regional finalist, some of them then become interviewed by staff of the foundation to then later on be selected as a scholar. Moving on then for the Milken Scholarship Foundation, they selected four recipients for New York City. So that one is more, I would say, you have to be nominated by your school counselor. That's how I got nominated. But I think there's different. It comes down to like the I guess in the website their descriptions, but for me at least, I was nominated by my guidance counselor. And then same thing, you give a description about your activities, your grades, and then you also do more of like your income background a little. And then, but you also have room to explain your circumstances because they do find, I think they do focus on a particular income bracket, but I know like I just wrote a little more about my own personal reasoning as to like why I think I should be considered and stuff. And then you also have to have a letter recommendation and um yeah, essays and short responses. And for that one, after you submit your application, you then get selected to get interviews if you make it to that round. And from the interviews, which is also with faculty, you then get chosen as a scholar.
And there's another wonderful one, Michael Milken being quite a philanthropist coming from the financial world. And you have yet another magnificent scholarship. Could you tell us about that one?
Definitely. So the Hispanic Scholarship Fund, I would definitely recommend everyone to apply to it. It comes down, I'm pretty sure, to different phases as well. So the first phase, you kind of give an overview of your activities, your grades, your courses, and from there you then get chosen to go to the second phase where you provide more information in regards to your activities as well as you submit your like financial aid paperwork and your transcripts and then from there you see if you get selected for the to become a scholar itself.
That must have been some graduation ceremony at your high school when all these were announced. That's quite impressive.
Thank you.
Very impressive indeed.
Thank you.
So now, Lesley, you've gotten your acceptances, you've made your decision. What do you intend to do specifically with your education at NYU, academically first?
Yeah, definitely. So I would say academically, I do aspire to become a physician in the future. So, but however, I feel like what I definitely have learned throughout the last 4 years of high school and like I really do want to apply within my undergraduate experience is the importance of balance and really exploring what interests you as a person because when you're applying to med school, the majors or like the path you take are really different for everyone. So there's no need to really, I guess, phone it into the general narrative of being a biology major, being a chemistry major. So what I really do hope to pursue is my interest within public health as well as psychology, within also chemistry. So I think just exploring those three different realms and fields, then allowing me to, I guess, pursue a major in any of those three different categories to then gain more research experiences within those opportunities or explore different initiatives and programs that the university offers me to then build my foundation within the realm of public health as well as like psychology to then become the best physician I can be in the future and a good applicant for medical school.
Oh, wonderful goal. Wonderful goal. Leslie, you haven't started your freshman year yet, but you will in a few days. What extracurricular activities at the moment seem to particularly interest you?
Yeah, definitely. I would say so. I don't know how to swim. So I was looking at the free swimming lessons that they were offering on campus. So definitely, I think at least for my freshman fall, I want to take time to adjust into the academic environment within the course loads and try to meet my professors. So I think, again, everyone's path is very different. So while I know I'm gonna at a point be partaking into activities surrounding research or surrounding clinical exposure and continuing my volunteering within the hospitals that I currently volunteer and train at. Um, I think, but yeah, so definitely for my first year at least, it would be more focusing on the academics and then focusing on volunteering and probably hopefully learning how to swim.
Oh, I'm sure you'll achieve all that with ease. Leslie, you've had a very interesting summer even before you started at NYU. Could you tell us about that, please?
Yes, definitely. So for me within the NYU STEM-based scholarship program that I got into it, um we had a mandatory summer semester. So I already kind of got a introductory exposure to the courses I'll be taking in the fall because it just happened to be that my fall semester was very similar to my current like summer experience. And within that, it really helped, I think, build the study habits, build the I guess time management skills that are going to be really helpful for my transition into the actual fall semester, and it just allowed me to then get to meet some of the professors that are on campus and other faculty members and kind of get a feel for the commute that I'll be doing for the academic year. Um, and yeah, I feel like while not everyone is willingly, excited to be taking classes in the summer, I do think it was a very helpful experience that I am grateful for.
Oh, yes. I'm sure you are. Did you get academic credit for what you participated in over this past summer?
Um, I think that's the sad part. You don't get credit for it, but I think like the overall experience from it is what's more valuable. But again, it like really sets you up to be ahead of the game for your actual fall semester. So in a way, it does help prepare you to perform well and then receive credit for it in the fall.
Yes, indeed. I'm sure it's quite an enviable opportunity, actually, to start on campus even before freshman year. Leslie, you mentioned that you're interested in being a pre med, you're interested in global health. Longer term, what would you aspire to do with your career after finishing all of your education?
Definitely. So I worked at the New York City Department of Health throughout my junior to senior year of high school. So within that was where I really built that interest within public health, and I was really grateful and excited that NYU has a really strong like global public health department. and they're really flexible in allowing you to get exposure into it with despite what major you may be throughout your undergrad experience. Um, However, again, within the pre-med track, I do really aspire to become a surgeon. So focusing more within, again, my experiences with my crochet. So I do want to be a reconstructive ear surgeon. But I feel like even within my time at the Department of Health, I saw how one of my colleagues, like he worked in a hospital setting as a physician himself, but then he took like a leave of absence time to really focus into helping ensure primary care access opportunities for different um, neighborhoods and parts of New York City. So, using his experience within the actual hospital and medical settings to then apply it into the more public health, um, I guess, field was really interesting and really inspiring to me. So, I feel like it's still early on to really know what in particular I'll be doing within both interests, but I do think I'll find a way to tie both of them in to then be able to give back to my community within the public health realm as well as help them better their lives as a physician myself.
What an admirable goal, academically and professionally. I commend you, Lesley, for all your achievements. I wish you the best on your upcoming plans. To our audience, we have just been talking with Lesley Yupa, who has had a tremendous number of experiences even before starting at NYU. And we commend our audience to apply themselves as Lesley has, using her as a role model. And hopefully, you'll get some of the opportunities that she has made for herself. Lesley, we'd like to thank you so much for your time with us. It has been invaluable to learn about all these opportunities. It has been invaluable to be so inspired by your journey. And we wish you the very best. We expect to read great things about you in the future.
Thank you so much. I appreciate this opportunity.